Hi, sweet leaders. I'm so sorry that I couldn't be at school with you today, but I'm so excited that I have a chance to make this video for you and help to make sure that you get everything you need to get out of class today. So like before, the sweet adult, the kind, mature adult that is with you in the classroom is going to help and make sure that they're following along with the video, setting the timer, and giving you the directions to be really successful in class today. The first thing we're going to go over, since you've already passed in your homework, is we're going to go over your please do now. I do want to say that I know a lot of you probably have a ton of questions about your projects, and I'm really excited to answer those when I'm back in school on on Tuesday. So number one, the first cause is because people hunted and gathered. Now before I give you the correct answer, I need to remind you, make sure that your pencil is ready to fix your answer if you got it wrong. That's the best way you can be results driven to make sure that you are getting what you need. Because people hunted and gathered, the correct answer is they had to move from place to place to find food. Number two, fire was a life-changing development because people were able to cook and they were able to keep themselves warm. That's a really important thing. You guys were here with us this winter when it got down to 1 degree, and you know it was so important that they had that fire to keep them warm. Next, after people learned how to grow food, they lived in permanent shelters. So number three is, after people learned to grow food, they lived in permanent shelters. Number four, I know this one. Because everyone wasn't needed for farming, people began to specialize in jobs. We talked about specialization, and we gave the example that Miss Smith specializes in science and social studies. Mr. Hawkins specializes in math. Miss Fisher specializes in reading. We all have our special jobs. Similar to that, all of these people who lived in the Stone Age, once they were in the Neolithic era and they started farming, they didn't have a lot to do all day. They didn't have to go hunt animals and gather berries all day long. So they specialized in jobs, like we talked about making bowls and making spoons, and maybe they bartered and traded those things. So check yourself on your answers, send yourself some shine, Kelexis, if you got those right. And we're going to go ahead and move on to a quick video that teaches you a little bit more about this invention of fire. All right, I know that some of you guys laughed when he got burnt by the fire. I thought it was funny too. I am actually in Houston, Texas right now, and I have another KIPP teacher who wants to tell you a little bit about KIPP, but more importantly, she wants to tell you about the most fantastic university that exists. So I want to introduce you to Miss Bull.
Hello, boys and girls. As fantastic as KIPP is, which it is, there's only one school that I would say is slightly better, which is the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Amazing school. Carolina is phenomenal. Great friends, great food, great living places, which are called dorms, if you already don't know. Great campus, exceptionally beautiful. It's the place that I encourage every single one of you to try to aspire to go if you're interested in sports. We have every collegiate sport that you can think of, from basketball, soccer, tennis, track, and a plethora of other exciting things to do. Carolina is a phenomenal place. You get all 4 seasons, so you do get snow. You have your leaves in the fall. Great summers to be lounging out, and your springs are beautiful. I can go on days and days and days talking about Carolina, and you already have a great reference. But if you ever want to know what a phenomenal Tar Heel looks like, sounds like, and sings like,
UNC! Go Heels go! Woo!
Good morning, class. George Washington here. Leaders will be able to describe the difference between the Old Stone Age and the New Stone Age by determining the main idea of the passage. Now, you may be looking at me reading this book, and you may be asking, why am I reading a book in social studies class? Well, stop, jot. Why are we reading in social studies class?
I know you guys love getting the chance to meet George Washington. It's not always you don't always get the chance to meet such an important historical figure. I feel really honored today. Now, we're going to go again back even farther in history, and we're going to be talking today about the Neolithic Age. what's going to be happening during class today is as you read, it is your job to determine the main idea of each paragraph. Now, I know full well Miss Fisher has been working so hard with you all to make sure that you definitely understand the main idea. So I'm here to support her in that, and I want to practice doing this, learning specifically about the Neolithic age, okay? So what's going to happen, we're going to read the introduction together. Now, when I pause, you're going to pick up the next word. Ahmad in the back, and some of my other favorite students, you guys have the tendency to be a little bit silly when we do this. So I know the adult in the classroom is going to stand and make sure that you guys are only saying the word. We don't need to yell, and we don't need to be silly with it. Please just pause and pick up the next word, okay? Track your papers, make sure you're following along with me. On the paper, it says the big question for today, the big thing you're focusing on is what was the difference between the Paleolithic age and the Neolithic age? I'm going to start reading. Please remember, as I pause, you pick up. Here we go. Humans discovered farming toward the end of the stone. This period gets its name from the stone tools prehistoric people made and used. Historians divide the Stone Age into two. The first is the Paleolithic age, or Old Stone Age. Good job. During this period, people got food by roaming from place to place to hunt wild animals, gather nuts, berries, and seeds from the plants they... Good. Now, what you should be doing in your mind while you're reading is you're thinking, okay, what is this passage talking about? So far, if I was trying to find the main idea, I would say the main idea is that the Stone Age was a time when people used stone tools and they gathered, and it explains how they got food, how they got their food. Okay? So as we're going through this, I need you to be looking for clues, even underlining or highlighting. What are the key sentences here that are going to help you put this together and figure out what's the main idea of the passage? We're going to get some practice with that later on. Right now, we're just reading and listening. Okay? Let's go ahead to this next paragraph. By 8000 BCE, some people learned how to raise animals and crops for food. The knowledge enabled these people for the first time to live in the Neolithic or the New Stone Age had begun. Had for the first time to live in one place, the Neolithic or New Stone Age had begun. Who can tell me, what does the prefix neo mean? N-E-O. College hands? Okay, let's hear from you in the back. Speak up. Yes, new. Prefix neo means new. Huh? Okay. Last paragraph, let's read this together pretty quickly. The gradual shift from hunter-gatherers to farmers is one of the most important advances in human development. People built permanent... Good. Remember, a shelter is a place that we live. They settled in larger communities. Together, they produced what they needed. People developed new skills and made a variety of things that improved the quality of their lives. Over time, they also began to exchange goods with people in other communities for things that they lacked in their own villages. So that was just our introduction, reminding us kind of what's happened and what we've already learned about. Now we're going to push forward, okay? Before you jump into this, I really want to give a huge plug to you. You guys just did some excellent work on your one-child policy essays. I want to send some special shine to Davin and to Cindy especially. I was so impressed with the work that you all did, and to Jenny Bowman as well. I almost forgot yours. You really pushed me with some of the ideas that you had. You guys are analytical readers. You proved that to me when we did these DBQs, and I want to push you again. The more work you do during this unit right now, it's really going to set you up for success in 6th grade social studies. So hold on tight and let's keep pushing through this. Okay? The next section says, from Old Stone Age to New Stone Age. What's going to happen is I'm going to give you guys just a minute. I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes. 3 minutes are going to go on the clock by the wonderful adult who's with you in that classroom. And in those 3 minutes, I want you to read the short paragraph, and I want you to answer the one question that says, what is the main idea of this paragraph? When you finish, Iris Thomas and every other person in my classroom who loves to read ahead, stop after you read that one main idea question, put your pencil down and assign yourself. We're going to go over the correct answers in just a second. All right, we're back. Thank you for picking your pencils up so quickly, okay? Placing your pencils down, stopping writing, closing those books up. Excellent job. And if you didn't, fix it. Correct answer was C. The Old Stone Age is when people traveled from place to place to find food, but the New Stone Age started when people began to farm for their food. Now, let me show you what that looked like. So in the Old Stone Age, you've got these different devices that people are using in their hunting. And they're gathering. Okay? However, in the New Stone Age, they're farming, okay? And they're planting seeds, and those seeds are growing, okay? So they don't have to move from place to place. They're just hanging out in that one home until a fire or a flood destroys the whole thing. Let's keep reading, okay? What you guys are going to do for the rest of class is you're going to take a couple of minutes. You're going to read the paragraphs. You're going to answer that question that says, what is the main idea? After you answer it, you're going to share out, and we're going to come together and decide what is the best way to explain the main idea. So, to the wonderful adult in the room, please, for each paragraph, give the students 3 minutes. You can adjust it if they're having some trouble. But give them 3 minutes to read the paragraph and answer the question, what is the main idea? Come together as a class, discuss what you agree that main idea is, and release yourselves to continue reading. I'll be back and see you again when it's time to go over your homework. If you're seeing me now, that means that you finished all those main idea passages and paragraphs. You've got them all down, and we really know what was happening in the Paleolithic and Neolithic eras. Now it's time. We've got 2 little assignments of 4, a little challenge activity for those of you who are ready. You've got an option. There's a Rage C paragraph, and that Rage C paragraph is meant to really challenge you to remember some of the things we talked about with this DBQ. How can you use evidence from the text you just read to answer the prompt? If you finish that, then I give you a little snip ahead of what we're going to be doing on Tuesday. There's a looking ahead activity that makes you guess which type of community is being described in the sentence. I want to go ahead and take a second to go over your homework. For your homework, the directions are, do it. All right? More practice with answering the main idea questions. If you have any questions while you're working, I'm sure the adult in the room is more than happy to come around and help you out with that. Please take your time, and please make sure you're writing in complete sentences. I'm excited to see you guys back tomorrow.